Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I hope your day is going well, and thank you for joining me. Before we get started, the housekeeping notes, you'll find all the product I use and all the dimensions listed below. You will find a link to my online store. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be yours. If you have any questions about Stampin' Up! Or the project, or if you have something you'd like to see made in the future, please drop me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. There's also a link to our Facebook group. We'd love to have you join that. And finally, remember to like, share, and subscribe and help me grow in YouTube world. So before I show you what we're making today, I decided I want to use products that are retiring. Today is May 1st, 2023. And so the new catalog goes live tomorrow. And at that point, all the demonstrators, including myself, can show you inside the catalog. And hopefully most of you have received your catalogs yet. If you're in the US and you need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and don't have a catalog, please drop me an email and we will work something out. So, I have brought out Forever Fern and the Mini Daisy Punch. Forever Fern and this are both retiring, and I decided we're going to make something with it. And what we are making is this lovely bag. I want to say, let me see if I've got this. No, we are all the way out. It's just really close today. I must have moved something on my camera. Well, I'm not going to play with it while we're filming. It's not worth it. So anyhow, we're making this beautiful bag. This paper is Pretty Prints, which is, or was in the current catalog. It is retiring. I don't know if it's still available, but it may be, and it's really beautiful paper. We're going to make some daisies. We have some die cuts here for our leafage, a little sentiment. The bag is 4 inches by 1 7/8. From this point to here is 7 inches, and from here to the tip is 8.5. So it's a nice size bag. Well, quite a bit of little goodies or stuff. And I've stamped on it to a friend that makes me smile. So I did use the ribbon here. This is Pale Papaya ribbon, which is also retiring. This one we're going to use actually the white seam binding ribbon on. So for a change. So before we get making the bag, let's make all the elements to our card so we have them ready to go. So to help speed things along, I have done a few things in advance. In the Forever Fern set, there is 2 standalone dies. And I have already die cut them out of Calypso Coral to help speed things along a little bit. I figured you didn't need to watch me turn the handle on the mini cut and emboss machine. And then we're going to need daisies. And I have made 2 daisies so far. We need 3. So we're going to do the daisies first. We need the punch and we need some white paper. And so we need 2 daisies, 2 single daisies to make 1 big daisy, or full daisy, I should say. So we need 2 of those. Put that aside. And before I hook these together, in the center of these, we are using the basic pearls. You could use whatever kind of gems you wanted, but I decided to use basic pearls because they're also retiring. And I need 1 large one. And I need 8 small ones, and I've left 2 small ones for me to color, and we want to do that right now so they have a chance to dry. They dry pretty quick, but I like them for thoroughly dried. So I need 2 more. This is my dark Calypso Coral, and you want to gently go around this. Don't push and damage your nib, because you can do that if you push too hard. You just go right around and color, and make sure you got them good and colored. That's how you color gems. You can do your almost any color gem you can color with these. I've done the rhinestones. You can have any color rhinestone you want. So we'll set that off to dry. Pretty easy. I'm going to grab a glue dot, and I'm going to grab my little pokey tool. You can use take your pick tool as well. I'm going to grab 1 glue dot, and I'm going to put this in the middle of this. And then I'm going to take this one and offset it. Hang on. There we go. Oh, not too well. It doesn't line up exactly right, but it's good enough. It's daisy. No two daisies are ever the same. So if you've got a little gap, it's not a problem. So the first thing I do is I take and push in the center with my thumb, and I start pushing the daisies up this way. Now you could leave them up like that if you wanted, but I didn't want one that way, and I need my bone folder. There it is. Now I put my thumb here in the center and gently go around here and give, you know, just like ribbon, just giving it a little. Be careful not to rip the petals off. They will rip very easily if you pull too hard. Just to give it a little dimension here. We'll do a little more on that in a little bit. So then we need to take our bling. Like I just said, you didn't really want to. So I'm taking one large one and putting it in the center. Let's move this in a little bit. And then my 8 small ones. So I found the easiest way is to take one and one on this side, straight across. Oop. He's being difficult. Of course he's being difficult. And then one on that side. Since there's 8, everything is evenly spaced around it. And we just fill in the holes. Make sure I've got them pushed up. It's a very interesting. I like making daisies and flowers like this. Now, if you didn't have the daisy punch, you could use a different flower. You could use die cuts to make it. You could use, if you had Petal Park, you could use Petal Park and make smaller flowers. So I'm going to hold this here in the center again. I'm going to do this a little bit more because it's not quite what I want. I'll probably fussy around with this a bit more. So, but there is our 3, if I move the camera back out, our 3 daisies and our leaves. So I'm going to set the daisies with the leaves now. And we still need a sentiment. And so I'm using Calypso Coral. Everything's Calypso Coral in this card. Like I said, there's other colors in this paper. There was, I think it was Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana, but I have no more of that. I've used it all up. And I'm just going to put this here in just a little ways, are saying, because I'm going to punch it out. This is our 1 3/4 inch punch. It is new. It's on the online exclusives. There's 2 punches. I didn't get the other one. It was out of stock, and I believe it's still out of stock. But I was able to get this one. And I love punches, especially circle punches. And so I'm going to line this right up in the center there. And there is that. And I have noticed something. Our new punches tend to be a little lighter than the older ones, which I really do appreciate. So, anyhow, so there's our verse. We'll put some bling on it in a bit. So, now I've got everything out of my way, and we got all of our pieces made for the bag. We are going to make the bag. Now, this paper is just slightly different than the other, because all the patterns are different. So, you have to decide on what you want to be the top and going up or down. And this paper really didn't seem to have a right way or wrong way on it. And this is the back side. It's just like Calypso Coral clouds. So there was no right or wrong to this. So if you're directional paper, if you have directional paper, put your going this direction, okay? Up and down. So let me grab my thing here, and we are going to score. So on the first side, we're going to score at 1 3/4. The right tip here. 1 3/4, 5 3/4, 7 1/2, and 11 1/2. Then you're going to turn it this way so that the little 1/2 inch score is right here at the bottom. Okay? And you're going to score at 1 3/4. You're going to turn your paper over and score at 10 1/4. Like I said, all the dimensions for this will be listed below. So the first thing I'm going to do, since these are the same side, I know that this, I can tell from the bump. The bump is here, and these are going in. So this was the bottom, this is the top. I'm going to fold my top down like this right now, so I don't get the top and bottom mixed up. Also, my small score piece is right there. Since they are the same size, if they were different sizes, it'd be easier, but they're the same, so we'll do it that way. That way I don't mess myself up. So now we're going to fold and score everything, or burnish everything else. So now I got those two pieces going the right direction. Make sure everybody's got a good burnish on it. I just thought this was very nice, springy card. Yeah, we needed it. Yeah, the day, actually, I'm filming this the Saturday before you're seeing it. And yesterday, we've had weather. This is somewhat a roller coaster. I've told you, we've had a lot of rain and wind. On Monday, I think our high temperature is 59 degrees. We've been in the 50s and 40s for all winter and not gotten out of there. Yesterday, we made it to 88 degrees. So we jumped from 59 to 88 in 5 days. It got warm fast. And today's supposed to be equally warm, so I'm trying to get my filming done early in the morning. But everything, all the flowers and stuff, trees that were just starting to bud yesterday, just my dogwood just started blooming. It was like fast. I've never seen it bloom that fast. And so it made me in a real springy mood, and I want to do spring stuff. So, i.e. the bag that is very springy. So, enough talking, Lori. All right, down here in the corner, you have a little teeny rectangle. I'm going to cut that off. Go straight up the large one. And I'm going to take a little wedge like that. And then these, I'm going to cut straight up the square. So you end up with a square, a rectangle, a square, a rectangle, a square. So we're cutting straight up there. And then we're just going to wedge in ever so slightly into the square. I'll hold this down on the paper so you can see it easier when we get done. And then this one on the end, I'm going to do exactly the same, cut up. And wedge in. So that's what the bottoms should look like. Then we're going to flip it over here to the top. And we have another little rectangle here. I want to remove that rectangle and wedge this ever so slightly. That's the only cutting at the top. The top does not get cut any more than that. Get this all out of my way here. So let's start putting this together. The first thing we do is the top part here. So I'm going to flip it around here, and I'm going to grab my tear and tape. And I'm going to put 2 pieces of tear and tape across here to help hold this. It's a large piece, and I want it to make sure it stays secured. Oop. Like that. And I'm going to peel that back. bone folder here. Make sure those are sealed good. And then I'm going to take and refold each of these once they're got glue on my bone folder. And do this end. And here, we're just reinforcing where we had it because there's 2 layers of paper there and I want to make sure it stayed good. If you excuse me 1 second, I have glue all over the tip of my bone folder, and yep, I always keep little alcohol wipes or some little bottle of alcohol or something by my desk. If I get glue on this or on something, you want it off real quick, that's not your project. It's a great way to clean that up real fast, and it dries very fast too. That'll be dry in just a second. But I didn't want to get glue all over everything. So I'm going to take this piece and fold it down. I'm going to put tear and tape on this piece here. Like that. And this piece goes right in there. This is why I wanted the bone folder, so I had this to run across here. That's why I didn't want the glue on there. Make sure that's sealed. So that's the top of the box. Now, before we secure the bottom, this is the back of the box here. What I want to do is just sort of pinch these 2 like this, just at the top part here, just where the top piece is. I'm going to pinch this, and I'm going to grab my hole punch, and I'm trying to show you. I'm going just on the inside of where all 4 pieces go. I'll put this in so you can see it. And so I'm doing it like this, just on this side of it. Okay. And then I'm coming around and doing the other side exactly the same way. Make sure I'm lined up. Now you could put this on the bottom at first, but I found it easier to do this when there was nothing down here constraining this part of it. It's your call. All right, where's my back again? This is the back of my box because this is where the joint is. So this is going to go this way, and then the front will go in. So you can use glue or tear and tape, whatever you want, or Seal Plus. It is a 3D project, so I wouldn't use regular seal. I'll put a little glue here. I'm going to bring the back in, make sure it's all squared up. Holding it just for a second here. And then I'll put a little more glue here. It's paper, so, you know, it's DSP. It's not cardstock, so it doesn't take quite as much. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to grab a large ruler. This is probably big enough. I can actually stick my hand in here. And what I want to do is make sure that those 2 side pieces are secured down in the flap. So if you've got small enough hands, you can get your hands in there or use a ruler. Or, you know, you can always try dropping a nice block in there too. But we don't need to. So that's the box together. And there's back to my front, because you can tell the difference. There's the back. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our ribbon on. And like I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and use the seam binding ribbon, which is also leaving us. And I'm going to start in the front. And I'm going to feed this through. Back in through the back side. And the other tool that works really great for pushing ribbon through is your stylus from your board. Make sure I have enough there. Make sure I have enough to tie a nice bow. I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a nice little clip I have sitting over here. Just a little laundry clip. Use whatever kind of clip you have. You can use a paper clip too. I just want something to hold that together. I don't have extra hands, and I'm using me. When you're doing something by yourself and you want to tie a nice bow and things want to pop open, and you want to make this secure, so you find ways to get good grip on that. This ribbon is not as sturdy as the other ribbon, so I'm not sure how well it's going to work. But we'll find out in a second here. Oh, that works good. Yeah, not bad. And I'll leave enough tails so I can refill it and restock it. But you see, it does, and it's only going to close down as far as whatever you've got in there. So if you've got a lot of stuff in there, it's only going to go that far down. Since I have nothing in there right now, it doesn't work that way. So here's our pieces. So what I did with these is I just basically laid them across the bag like this. And I'm going to use glue dots because I didn't want it full with glue, and I didn't want glue sticking all over the bag. And glue dots just work really well for this. So I'm strategically placing them behind the leaves. And it doesn't take many. It's not like you're mailing this. So it doesn't take many to hold on. Glue dots are extremely strong. That should work good. So I think I went 3. I have 3 glue dots on there. I'm going to start down in this one. I think I may need one more right there though. And if you need to roll it up to go under a leaf a little bit or something, it doesn't matter. It just gives a little different look to it. A little dimension, not much. And then we have this one. Yeah. Like I said, if the little dimensions get balled up, it's fine. Or the glue dots, because then it looks like a little dimensional under there. And you could use dimensionals if you wanted. Like I said, I want enough on there to hold it that's not going to fall apart on me. Out here. Now it's sticking to me. That's why I said glue dimensionals are great. And then up here, across here. Now it's going down because, and squished down because I have nothing in here. But if you, once you stock it with something, it won't. The other thing you could do, and I'll actually show you, we'll open this up real fast, is you could grab, hang on here. What am I grabbing here? That's an E block. I'm just putting it inside here. If you want to make sure that you have some place to work on, it's not going all over the place. And these are 2, I'm not sure, I think they're D's. D's. Those are 2 D blocks. I'm sitting on the top. So now you have a much firmer place to work. So if you don't want to work in the air, stick some blocks in, okay? Like I said, blocks are useful for lots of things. So my lovely daisies here. Make sure I've got to push down. Like I said, I play with them. I always play with them. And make sure this one. And what I'm going to put on the backs of each of these is dimensionals. You can use small ones, but a large one does fit right in the center of these daisies. Now, if you're using the Petal Park set to do this, with their little flowers, use this minis. And put that one about there. That's going to go down there. So we'll put that one there. And that one about there. Now our little verb saying here, we're going to put it up on dimensionals as well. Make sure that's straight. And where'd my bling go? I wanted to put 3 large ones on here. These are exact same coat of coral. So let's pull these blocks out now. Oh, and I threw the ribbon out. That's okay, we can fix it real quick. Grab my clamp again. Here's a little bow. Pull the clamp. So there's our bag. I think it's a very nice gift bag. I think anybody who received that would love that gift bag. Now this is the one I did with the pale papaya ribbon, which also works really well with it. Or you could take this and turn it into either of these. You could color those and make them Calypso Coral. I sort of like the white one too, so that's why we're going to go with that one and stay there. So thank you for joining me today, and I will be back on Wednesday. We're going to use all new product, and we can take a peek into the catalog. Remember, if you want something that's on the clearance rack, today is your last day to shop, and my store is open. And if you have any questions, I will be looking at my emails. So please let me know. Thank you. Goodbye.